Hey everyone, welcome. And here where I am right now, it's a little bit rainy, but that's okay because I have some really exciting kind of tips for you today. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk a little bit about is that ensuring that you're going to have a remarkable video. So not in the sense of quality or quantity here, but mostly this one thing that you actually need to know to make sure that you are hitting the right audience and that you are actually, this morning I sent out a video to everybody and it's on my community page about, you know, making videos that impact people. But if you're not hitting the right audience, you're totally missing out. So what I want to say is that these are some questions that you need to know so that you can reach the right audience with your video. So one of the things that is really important, besides knowing what their age is, their gender, where they live, who they hang out with, those are just the usual. This is something that you, in any course you take, you have to know, because to be able to market on anything, you have to know your audience. So besides those little things that you have to know, especially when you're targeting for ads, you should probably know what's important to them, what matters to them, what do they value, what are some of the things that they value. Know those things. You want to know what's causing them a need for change. So when they come to you and they're coming to you for advice, what do they need to change? Well, maybe it's what are their struggles? What are they struggling with at the point where they're actually clicking on your video or clicking on a post or reading your post? What's forcing them to make a move or a change? And sometimes, what are their struggles? Are they struggling with clients? Are they struggling with money? Are they struggling with getting, visible in a big way? Whatever that is, you have to know that, and what emotions are going on. Like, these last couple months, a lot of fear and anger has been happening. So what are those emotions with your clients? What are they most afraid of? What are they most happy about? What are they most angry about? So figure that out. You need to know those things. The other thing is besides, what's important and what do they value, what do they care about? Like for me, it's like I really care about helping people, small businesses with their social media. I care about a lot of other things. I care about people making healthy and right choices. I care about people being happy. What is it that your audience cares about? And I know that, for instance, a lot of my audience cares about serving others. So I do know that. So I'm going to market to that, what they care about. So what are their pain points? A great, I'm going to give an example, but what is your audience pain points? What are they struggling with? Again, it goes right back is what pains them. And a really great example is I had a friend who had one of those flip phones, and they had it up to like February of this year, which is kind of funny because they couldn't do anything. They couldn't search anything, while they were out. If we were talking about something, they couldn't text. Well, they could text, but it took them forever to do it. And so they really didn't do anything with texting. They didn't know how to do it. And their biggest pain point was their clients weren't really able to really get a hold of them as fast as they needed to. Like sometimes, I let some of my clients, they can text me if there's an emergency or something that's coming up. Well, that was his biggest pain point. So if you think about it, there's all these commercials. There's a Verizon commercial, AT&T commercial, Nextel commercials, T-Mobile commercials, all these, throwaway phone commercials. And so he had asked my advice, on, what he should get. And it was really funny because I of course I shared what kind of phone that I should get. And each of those providers that I mentioned, like, Verizon and AT&T, they offer special deals. So I said, well, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want something fast, just go with some of the big carriers that are actually offering you a special deal. So if you want an iPhone, the cool thing, his flip phone could not actually take pictures. So my iPhone can. And if you have a Droid, your Droid can. So you want to think about that was his pain point. He was really losing business. He couldn't even do a quick video if he wanted to. So that, that's just a really great example of a pain point. The pain point really not being up to date with your technology. And that could be, something else. Maybe you live somewhere where maybe your client lives somewhere where there's no internet. So the other thing is who this is really important when you're looking for your target audience is you need to know who they are looking at for advice. So in my field, of course, I know who they're looking for. The big social media gurus. Of course, I consider myself a guru, but whatever. But what I was going to say is that they're looking to those people, so I know exactly where they're hanging out. So you need to know exactly where your audience is hanging out and who they're listening to advice. Another good example of that is for instance, if you're an organizer and where are they going or who are they listening to for advice? Well, they're going to Marie Kondo, right? I'm sorry, that doesn't bring me joy either, but whatever. I'm just being funny. So no, seriously though, is like that's who they're going to. So that's where your audience is hanging out. Not everybody's going to work with Marie Kondo and not everybody's going to work with that social media expert. They may connect better with me or they may connect better with the organizer. So you need to know, where they're going for their advice. I hope this helps you. I hope you realize that before you're doing anything, Facebook Live or a video or putting a video on your website, you really have to know, seriously, you really have to know who you're trying to reach. I think that's the most important thing before you're making a video is know what kind of advice you want to give and who you want to attract to your video. So have a great rest of today and I'll see you tomorrow for Finish Strong Friday. So you just really have a great evening. Bye.